Dorset Council has approved a new local heritage list of buildings, gardens, landscapes and places communities value, something planners may consider if redevelopment or major alterations were proposed at these sites. The locations don't qualify for national protection like Grade 1 or Grade 2 listing, but are considered to have enough local historic or cultural significance to be taken into account when planning decisions are made. But they've made a glaring error in the Shaftesbury listing, including sites around Sherborne, even though this was flagged up as a mistake during the public consultation in 2024. Introducing the plan to the Cabinet during the March meeting, the Council's planning portfolio holder, Councillor Shane Bartlett, said the aim was to recognise places with local historic value, even if they're not formally protected yet.
Non-designated heritage assets have a degree of heritage significance which merits their consideration in planning applications.
Council leader Nick Ireland seconded the proposal, saying the question of how much weight to give non-designated heritage sites often arises in planning debates.
This has gone out to consultation, people have spoken, and this is the outcome. So Councillor Flower had his hand up.
Councillor Flower was questioning the amount of engagements. There weren't many responses during the consultation.
15. I rest my case.
And part of his case is that this could be more red tape for anybody who wants to make a change to their property.
We just need to be slightly careful that we don't get carried away with yet another constraint for development when we do desperately need to move things forward and get building in Dorset so we can deal with our local challenges around housing. We have so many constraints for our planning applications in Dorset already, and I hope that we do apply due weight to this because we can all produce a list of things we think are nice and ought to be looked after, whereas there's plenty of designation nationally around listed buildings.
During the consultation in 2024, Dorset residents were asked to come forward with suggestions of buildings currently not listed with a grading system operated by Historic England they'd like to see protected. Some Shaftesbury residents at the time said the post office on Coppice Street was an iconic building and should be preserved. It is highlighted in the Shaftesbury neighbourhood plan but doesn't have any formal protection, but it didn't make the list. This heritage register has taken years to produce. Dorset Council and the Bournemouth, Christchurch and Poole Authority received £70,000 in government funding back in 2021 to compile this list of locally significant sites. Despite this lengthy process, the consultation version previously contained a basic geographical mistake affecting Shaftesbury. 2 of the 3 sites attributed to our town are actually in the Sherborne area, 27 Cheap Street and Lenthea Common, around 18 miles away. And they're still in the Shaftesbury listing. The only genuine local entries in the list are the gardens at Springhead Trust in Fontmell Magna and the outdoor space at Park Walk. Here's how Dorset Council has recorded those sites' value.
Park Walk was created in the 18th century by Robert Dyneley, Lord of the Manor. He planted the beech avenue before gifting the park to the town in 1753 as a public space. The park sits along the edge of the steep slope overlooking the Blackmore Vale and offers wide views across the countryside. Later additions include the bandstand installed in 1896 and the zigzag path linking the park down to St James and Gold Hill. Today, Park Walk remains one of the town's main open spaces and hosts markets, fairs, outdoor theatre and church services. The Millennium Snowdrop collection is also centred around the park, reinforcing its continued role as a communal gathering place. Within Alfred's area, the only other site correctly included on the list is Springhead at Fontmell Magna. This listing records that the gardens sit in a coombe where natural springs rise from the surrounding hills and feed a stream that eventually joins the Stour. Historically, the land was associated with mills owned by Shaftesbury Abbey. Artist Harold Squires bought the property in 1926 and began shaping the gardens around the lake. In 1932, the site passed to Rolf and Mariabella Gardiner, ecological conservationists and founding members of the Soil Association, who expanded the landscape design. A Venetian-style rotunda with a wrought iron dome was added as a focal point and has hosted outdoor performances and gatherings. Springhead became an educational trust in 1973, and volunteers now maintain the gardens, wetlands and reed bed filtration system while continuing a programme of music, learning and community events.